Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. Today I'm going to be introducing, mind you, you've probably already heard of it, this has been out for a while, the Cisco Valet family. So I have two members of the family in front of me. This is the Valet router as well as the Valet connector, so you can actually see the router here. And what is Valet all about? Well, basically it is, quote unquote, the simple way to create your own wireless hotspot. So it's a wireless router. So what's special about the Valet wireless router and then basically what is a wireless and USB adapter? Well, as far as I can tell, pretty much it comes down to the firmware and this little guy right here. This is the Easy Setup Key. So the Easy Setup Key basically allows you to go to any computer in your house, whether it's running a Valet connector or some other wireless adapter. You plug this in and you follow the wizard and it will connect you to your wireless network. Now, it will do that regardless of whether you've got security set up on your Valet router, which you will, because it walks you through that as well. And as I said before, regardless of which brand of wireless adapter you're using. It also walks you through some other pretty cool things. It allows you to set up a guest wireless network, its own separate little thing. You can set up all kinds of rules, like when the network can be used, which sites can be visited, all of that kind of good stuff. And you can do it very, very simply. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is that the Valet can do anything that any other router on the market can do. But, and this is the critical difference, while you can do that with any other router, your grandmother probably can't. So while this product may not necessarily be for you, it's definitely for you to buy for your aunt or your mom. So this is what makes the Valet so simple. This is the Easy Setup Key. When you set up your Valet router initially, it's going to prompt you to put the Easy Setup Key into whichever computers you want to use to connect to your Valet, whether it's wired or wireless, whether you're using a Cisco Valet branded wireless adapter, or whether you're using some other one. So what does the Easy Setup Key do? It walks you through a few simple things. Basically, it's a setup wizard. So you plug it in. This is just a USB key. It has some software loaded on it. The firmware on the Cisco Valet router cooperates very well with it, obviously. And it shows you how to set up your security, how to set up a guest Wi-Fi separate SSID and separate password, and it sets you up with how to manage your network in terms of which sites can be visited, which ones cannot, when the internet can be used by which computers, all of those kinds of features that might be useful to, well, pretty much anyone who has a wireless network.
3, 2.
So how does this work? Well, the reality of it is, I actually can't show you here in the studio because the Cisco Valet is in some ways almost too simple when used with the Easy Setup Key. You can actually configure the router using advanced options if you desire, but really that's not why you're buying a product like this. So the Easy Setup Key wouldn't work here in the office because we have a complicated networking setup where you're not plugging this directly into an internet modem and then into your home computers directly. So the Easy Setup Key wouldn't work, it didn't like it. So I want you to click the annotation that's here at the bottom of this shot. Watch the setup because it really is very simple, and I also show you in there how to configure all of the options that you can configure with the Cisco Valet through the setup wizard. So let's show you guys the whole Valet family one more time. This is the Valet wireless USB adapter. Frankly, not entirely necessary to get a great Valet experience. This is the M10 wireless router. This is a 1000 wired router and wireless N router. This is the more basic model. And then there's also an M20 Plus wireless router. The biggest difference with this guy is it has better range and faster wired speed. So it actually supports gigabit Ethernet if whoever needs a simple network also needs a simple fast network. So that could be a useful thing as well. So in conclusion, why does this product exist? Well, it's not for you. If you're watching this video, it's probably not for you. You probably don't need it. You can probably type in 192.168.1.1, configure your router, and you're perfectly content to do things that way. What it's really for is for you to buy. but not for yourself. It's for you to buy for your mom or your aunt or your grandma, or, let's say your uncle has a, lousy tenant who's always, hogging up all his internet bandwidth, downloading torrents late at night, and he wants to shut off their internet at night, but he agreed already to give them wireless internet. So that's what this is for. It's so that you don't get a phone call every time some basic thing needs to be done. You go over to their house once, you set it up, and then you take this and you nail it to the wall next to their computer so they'll never lose it. And then all you have to say is, oh, your wireless isn't working? Go get your easy setup key, pop it in the drive, or pop it into a USB port, and off you go. Thank you for checking out this episode of NCIX Tech Tips. And now that you've watched it, and don't forget, watch the actual setup guide because it really is useful. I'm going to put the annotation here again. Please do watch it. So now that you've watched this, would you consider getting the Valet, not for yourself, because I know you guys are tech savvy, you're watching this show, obviously, but would you get it for somebody else?